You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! We're doing some huge things here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the Doug Stewart Show, and the biggest thing being broadcasting other shows. That's right, we're executive producing other shows and playing them on my network. You may have a fantastic show or podcast, but do you have listeners? We got listeners. Over 9,000 followers to the Doug Stewart Show on the Spreaker platform, as well as over 200,000 plus listens to the network itself. So here's what you do. Go to Fiverr.com, that's Fiverr.com, and search the Doug Stewart Show or Stewart Media and Entertainment and get all the details. Or just hit up the producer, Tree at TreeAtTheDougStewartShow.com. That's spelled Trei. Tree at TheDougStewartShow.com, and come and do business with us on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes! From sporting events, concerts, and plays, Gistix has the best tickets for them all. The owner, a veteran and military spouse, founded the company set on delivering affordable prices for all the top events. Also, they sell 100% authentic signed memorabilia and quality fan merchandise. It's a one-stop shop for fans. Gistix was founded in 2014 by 4 fun people with military and DoD backgrounds that are fans of everything entertainment. They work hard at helping fans like us discover tickets for live entertainment at a great price, providing hard-to-find authentic sports items and merchandise. And they offer Easter eggs that give fans additional opportunities to purchase unique items. Active and non-military members receive an additional discount on event tickets and fan merchandise items as a thank you for your service. Again, Gistix is founded by fans, and they listen to other fans to understand the importance of service, price, and quality across the board for entertainment, memorabilia, and merchandise. Check them out at Gistix.com, spelled Jistix.com. Again, Gistix.com. That's Gistix.com.
Doctor, this is the mayor talking.
All right.
Doctor,
Come on, what?
always do the right thing.
If you came here to hear for fake, you are in the wrong place. We are for real around here. We keeps it real. This is the Doug Stewart Show, the livest, the realest, the trillest sports talk show in America. Are you not entertained? This is Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce, the Doug Stewart Show. Yes! Game time. Yes, sir. It's game time, baby. What's happening? Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Wild Out Wednesday, and oh boy, we got a great show planned for you as we do every single day. Shouts out to the studio audience already in the building doing their damn thing. Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, a lot of great stuff to get into, but first we got to bring that beat back one more time. Bring that goddamn beat back one more time. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So today we're doing something a little bit different. Kind of, sort of. Nothing really different with the show. But we're periscoping. We're going to try to periscope the entire show, or at least until my battery runs out. Yeah. So follow me on Periscope, man. You need to follow me on all my social medias, man. This is the Doug Stewart Show. You need to follow me on all my social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Periscope. But what we're going to do is we're broadcasting the show live on Periscope right now. If you're not on Periscope, you need to be. I mean, Periscope is real, real cool. But we're gonna do the Periscope until my battery dies on my phone because I have it set up, but I didn't, think to attach it to a power source. And so you know how when you do those social media type things, and especially Periscope, man, it really kills your battery. So we're gonna keep it up as long as the battery is working. So follow your boy on Periscope, man, on the Doug Stewart Show. And if you follow me on Periscope, if you're watching me on Periscope, make sure you tap the damn screen and give me some hearts. That's very important to give your boy some hearts. So make sure you do that. All right, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. We say it all the time. We got a lot of new listeners that listen to the show daily. We do a lot of different little marketing. Not a big budget, but we do our best. We are pounding the pavement and trying to increase the numbers to the show. We are close to 10,000 followers to the Doug Stewart Show. We're about to cross that plateau anytime now. Well over 300,000 listens. So if you're new to the show, a couple of things I need you to do. I need you to follow the show on Spreaker.com. Hit the little follow button so whenever the show goes live, you'll get an alert saying, hey, man, a show's live on the network, on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. So do that, and then hit the little chat bubble on Spreaker.com as well, and then you'd be introduced to a whole new world. And I call it the Fantasy Island of Sports and Guy Chat. And I call its inhabitants the Stewies! Yes! Yes! Yes, sir! So make sure you do that. Speaking of which, the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the Doug Stewart Show, today, man, at 2 p.m., we're going to air the Kicking It with Kesey show, my man Kesey. And he's got a big one today. I see you, Kesey. I see you, Playboy. So my man Kesey is going to talk with Paris Smith. You know who Paris Smith is, right? Paris Smith is one of the founding members of EPMD. So my man, the Kicking It with Kesey show airs today at 2 p.m. He's interviewing Paris Smith, one half of the world-famous rap duo EPMD on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes! As well as at 3 p.m. today, man, I love these cats, man. I love these cats. They bring a lot of quality to the network. The Poe Politicking Show today at 3 p.m., and all of these are Eastern Time. 3 p.m. today, Eastern Time, the Poe Politicking Show. He's going to talk to Snow the Product. You know who Snow the Product is? You might, if you're not a real deep hip-hop head, you may not recognize the name, but she's an up-and-coming artist. You remember on the BET Awards a couple of years ago? Maybe you remember. She was one of the up-and-coming artists that took part in the Cypher. And she absolutely killed it out of California. Snow the Cypher, white chick, I don't know, maybe she's Latino or something. But real good stuff, good rapper, man. And so my man Poe Politicking interviewed her a couple of years ago. This is the best of the Poe Politicking Show. So today at 2 p.m., the Kicking In with Kesey Show, talking to Paris Thomas, as well as 3 p.m. today, the Poe Politicking Show, talking to Snow the Product, right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes! Yes, sir! But today on the Doug Stewart Show, Wild Out Wednesday, November 4th, 2015, once again, we're going to talk college football. The college football playoff rankings came out on yesterday. We'll talk about that, obviously. That's going to be the bulk of today's show. More trouble in Athens with the Georgia Bulldogs. Boys running wild down there, man. Some NFL talk. I want to talk about Todd Gurley on Monday. I don't think we gave that youngster enough credit and due on a Man Talk Monday, Baller and Buster Monday. But Todd Gurley is balling out of control. Speaking of the Georgia Bulldogs, we'll talk about him. A good story on Leonard Fournette. And also, there's some NBA news and notes, man. I absolutely love this time of the year because my two favorite sports, actually boxing is my second favorite sport. But one of my three favorite sports, basketball, is in full effect now. Then you got the NFL. Then you got college football. There's no better time of the year of the sports calendar than the fall, man. And so today we'll talk a little bit of NBA. I pissed off a lot of Lakers fans last night, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, where I tweeted out, man, let's just go ahead and pay Kobe Bryant his money. Let's buy him out of his damn deal and roll with these young boys. Clarkson balled out of control last night. Julius Randle is a man. Let's just move on with life. I know I said it, and I'm a bigger Laker fan than you. Shut up. Studio audience is just unruly this morning. But that's how I feel, man. But we'll talk more about that and some other scores from last night. The Hawks get a win, man. So we'll talk about all that today on the Doug Stewart Show. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can still call the show old school style, where you actually use a phone and call and have your thoughts put out over the airwaves for the world to listen to. But the easy way to be totally interactive is with the chat on Spreaker.com. And post your chat, and I read a lot of chat throughout the show. That's what makes the show totally interactive, as well as we do birthdays, we do top fives. Once in a while, I'll sing for you. You heard me right. Once in a while, I'll even sing for you. And I'm not prepared to sing a song today, just like yesterday. Been very busy over the last 2 weeks. Maybe I'll play you one of my classics. I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. I promise you, today I'll play one of Dougie's classics on the Doug Stewart Show. Very talented singer. We don't just talk sports and entertainment around here. I sings for you as well. I just learned recently that I'm also a very, very talented singer. I've been blessed with the gift of song. So every once in a while I sing for the Stewies. Nothing live today, but I will play you one of my classic hits from the past. I know you're excited now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the college football playoff rankings came out yesterday, and everybody's talking about the Final Four, or the top four. Not the Final Four, this ain't basketball. The top four teams in college football, man, coming in at number 4 are the Alabama Crimson Tide. Number 3, Ohio State. Number 2, the LSU Tigers. And number 1, which was a shock to me, and I got to be honest with you, and I'm happy, but it was a shock to me. Number 1 in the poll. The first poll of the year is the Clemson Tigers. And I did say Clemson, pronounced with a Z. The Clemson Tigers, number 1. Ooh, boy. All right, so we're going to break this down, look at some of the teams that didn't make the top 4. A lot of people feel like they're getting disrespected. We'll talk about that when we get back from the break. My observations, my thoughts on the Final Four, your thoughts on the college football rankings and top 4 teams thus far when we get back from the break, all right? 404-382-0338. You can also email me. You can still email your boy, too, at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. And if you're new to the show, trust me, we have a great time around here. Once in a while, I'll tell you stories about my uncle Debo and my glasses. People in my hometown shooting folks in the leg and not going to jail. I mean, I tell stories. This is what I do. Fun. Shenanigans on the Doug Stewart Show. All right? So don't go away. When we get back, college football playoff rankings up next on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number 1 independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! We're doing some huge things here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the Doug Stewart Show, and the biggest thing being broadcasting other shows. That's right, we're executive producing other shows and playing them on my network. You may have a fantastic show or podcast, but do you have listeners? We got listeners. Over 9,000 followers to the Doug Stewart Show on the Spreaker platform, as well as over 200,000 plus listens to the network itself. So here's what you do. Go to Fiverr.com, that's Fiverr.com, and search the Doug Stewart Show or Stewart Media and Entertainment and get all the details. Or just hit up the producer, Tree, at TreeAtTheDougStewartShow.com. That's spelled Trei. Tree@thedougstewartshow.com, and come and do business with us on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. And yeah, college football playoff rankings come out on yesterday. Damn, I love this beat right here. Yes, sir. So we're going to get into that today. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. As I mentioned in the first segment, man, the college football playoff pairings came out yesterday. Not pairings, but rankings came out yesterday. I'm just going to throw out the top 10 to you. I'm sure you've seen it, but just follow along. Read along like they used to say in elementary school. Coming in at number 10 is the Florida Gators with 1 loss. Okay. Coming in at number 9 are the Iowa Hawkeyes, 8-0 from the Big Ten. Now, it's Iowa, and we're going to get into that in a second. A lot of this has to do with, I believe, in your status in the annals of college football. But Iowa comes in at number 9. TCU just destroying folks, putting up 50, 60 points a week, comes in at number 8 on the playoff rankings. Coming in at number 7 is Michigan State. They're 8-0 as well. Really should have lost to Michigan. We all know that, but they're 8-0. Big Ten. Number 6 is Baylor, another team putting up 70, 80, 90 points a week. They come in at number 6. Number 5, Notre Dame with the 1 loss. Number 4, Alabama with the 1 loss as well to Ole Miss. Number 3, Ohio State. Number 2, LSU. And number 1, the Clemson Tigers. So let's start with the number 4 team. Matter of fact, let's start with the number 5 team with the Baylor Bears. The problem that Baylor is going to have, once again, is the competition that they play and the style of football that they play in the Big 12, in my opinion. That's why it seems like they don't get the respect that you would think a team, a Division I college football team, would get based on what the numbers are week to week and the destroying that they're putting on these teams. So Baylor comes in at number 6, but I totally get it. Coming in at number 5 is Notre Dame. Notre Dame has the 1 loss to the Clemson Tigers, who's the number 1 team in the country, which was not a blowout or anything like that. Notre Dame was pretty much in contention in that game at the very end. Number 4, was Alabama, or is Alabama. You know, they had the one loss to Ole Miss. But what you got to remember about that one loss to Ole Miss is that they had 5 turnovers. Alabama was -5, I believe, in the turnover category against Ole Miss. Now, it was at home, so that doesn't look good, but they had 5 turnovers. And clearly, if you've watched Alabama over the last couple of weeks, you know that they pretty much turned things around. They got it cooking. They look like they're ready to go. Number 3 is Ohio State. Now, this is the first issue that I have, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And the same thing, I'm consistent. You can say what you want about me, but I'm consistent. And last year when everybody was dissing Florida State and they said Florida State wasn't playing as good as they did the year before when they won the national championship, I continued to say that they were undefeated. They were the national championships. They were the national champions. They were undefeated. They should still be number 1 until they lose a game. They didn't lose a game until the national championship. I felt that they should have been number 1 in these rankings from game 1 or from day 1. Same thing I feel about Ohio State. And you know I'm not an Ohio State fan. As a matter of fact, you could probably quantify me as an Ohio State hater. But right is right. Ohio State, even though they haven't looked polished this year, seems like the chemistry is an issue with the team, they are still undefeated. They won a national championship last year. Until they lose, I think they should be number 1. That's neither here nor there. I kind of get why they're doing it because they're basing everything on this year. That's what this selection committee continues to say week in and week out. Number 2 is LSU, undefeated, look dominant. They look dominant on offense and defense. They have the Heisman Trophy front runner right now in Leonard Fournette. So they play old school style, smash mouth football, getting solid play from the quarterback position as well. They got a big game this weekend against Alabama. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And number 1, the Clemson Tigers. Now, I'm kind of shocked about this because in some of the conversation we're going to get to here in a second, you know, there's this thought that, you know, there's a hierarchy in football. And to a large degree, I believe in it, and I get it, and I understand it. And Clemson won a national championship back in 1981. Its fans always feel like they're going to win a national championship this year. That's really never the case. So they haven't won a national championship. They haven't been talked about in the conversation with the top teams in the country year in and year out. But they got a lot of love, and they are absolutely destroying fools. I think if they don't destroy Miami the way that they do, 58-0, and put up 56 points against North Carolina State, they put up pretty much 40 or more points every single week, except for the one game against Notre Dame. The final score of that game was 24-22. Remember, Notre Dame scored a late touchdown in that game to make it that close. But Clemson really outplayed Notre Dame. It was at home. It was a good performance. But other than that, they put up 49 against Wake Forest, 40 against App State. They had a close game, 20-17 against Louisville. Destroyed Georgia Tech, 43-24. And then the big one was when they went to Miami. They went to Coral Gables and dominated the Miami Hurricanes, who isn't a good team this year, but they're still Miami. And they dominated Miami on national TV. A lot of people were able to see that game, and they dominated. I don't have a problem with it. I've seen Clemson play several times this year. Defensively, they have great athletes. Offensively, they got maybe a guy that should be the Heisman Trophy favorite. I don't think he is. And Deshaun Watson playing out of control. They have great special teams, good specialty players and the wide receivers and the running backs. They got a solid team from top to bottom. Maybe it's this year. I wouldn't have put Clemson at number 1. I probably would have put Clemson at number 2. I would have put Ohio State at number 1, LSU at number 3 because they're undefeated, and I would have left Alabama right there at number 4. The problem comes up about other teams that have undefeated records and aren't getting any love, like Michigan State, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Michigan State, TCU in particular, and Baylor, Iowa as well, and then you can throw in there as well Memphis. Speaking of which, an article from, what's this guy named? Pat Forty, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You know Pat Forty, he's always on the scene, one of these sports, go-to guys or whatever. But he writes for Yahoo Sports, man. Let me read you a couple of excerpts from an article he wrote, and the article's titled, Playoff Committee Shows Brand Name Bias Still Full in Effect with Flawed First Rankings. And a lot of this early conversation in which he writes talks about the fact that Memphis isn't getting any love. Okay? He says the CFP committee reinforced that their first top 25 Tuesday night by relegating Memphis to number 13. That's the same Memphis that's 8-0. Yeah, they're 8-0, but they're in Conference USA or whatever that conference is called. And owns a 13-point victory over Mississippi once again. Mississippi, an Ole Miss team that won at Alabama and that is committee ranked 18th. How Memphis isn't in the top 10 baffles me. The reason they aren't in the top 10 is because outside of that one win against Ole Miss, they play a Conference USA schedule. You know, they beat teams week in and week out, like Tulane and Tulsa and Cincinnati and teams like that. They don't even call it the Conference USA. What do they call it? American Athletic Conference. And so it's the schedule. It's the strength of the schedule that they're looking at. And that's understandable. You can't believe if you're a college football fan. Now, they did. Let me back up to the Ole Miss thing. They did have a big win over Ole Miss. Okay, we saw that, 37-24. But on any given Sunday, I would say, any given Saturday, one team can beat another team. We found out after that win subsequently that Mississippi isn't that great. They aren't as dominating a team that we thought they were. Mississippi's a good team. They're 5-2 right now, but they have the losses to Alabama and to Memphis. And I think I might even have been saying, or to Florida, I'm sorry. They have the loss to Florida in convincing fashion. Florida dominated them 38-10. And then they do have the loss to Memphis. So we've kind of seen Ole Miss come back to the pack a little bit. And then the rest of Memphis' schedule is no other way to say it. The rest of their schedule is just booty. So I get that. You can't possibly think, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, you can't possibly think that if Memphis were to line up right now against Clemson or against Alabama even again, where they don't have all the turnovers, or Notre Dame even, who comes in at number 5 in this thing, you can't think, or you wouldn't say that Mississippi or Memphis would be favored against those top 4 or 5 teams. You just can't say that and be real with yourself. So I get it. I totally get it. What I'm going to do is read a little bit more of this article. Very interesting article. He makes some points, but I totally understand and I get where the committee went and why they chose the teams that they did, especially in the top 4, 5, and 6 spots. What are your thoughts on that? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. I forgot to tell you, we got to talk about fantasy football. The Doug Stewart Show Fantasy Football League. We got to talk about that today as well. I can just tell you right now, your boy won again. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But we got to talk about the big winners, the big losers in the Doug Stewart Show Fantasy Football League. We'll do that a little bit later as well. When we get back, more of this college football rankings, playoff rankings coming back on the show. Don't go away. Keep it locked. This is the Doug Stewart Show. We're back. The Two Live Stews are back on air every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on WGST. It's sports talk with hot sauce. Special thanks to our sponsor, Bruce Hagen at Hagen-Law.com for making it happen.
640 WGST in Atlanta. Search 640 WGST on iHeartRadio worldwide.
Yes! In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, What I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your number one advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975 and work it out.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Wednesday. Wild Out Wednesday. Get it right. All right, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Talking some college football. The college football playoff rankings came out on yesterday. Coming in at number 4, Alabama. Number 3, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Coming in at number 2, LSU. And number 1, the Clemson Tigers. If the playoffs started today, obviously you'd have number 1 taking on number 4, Clemson versus Alabama. You'd have number 2 taking on number 3, LSU and Ohio State. I mean, that's just marvelous. That's vanglorious. That's vanglorious. I saw somebody mention in the chat room, and I'm going to read some of your chat here in a second. As you can tell, Tree had to train a couple of horses this morning, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Tree is the producer to the show for the new people listening, so she's not here today. So obviously we won't get to as much chat as we normally do, but go ahead and carry on. I mean, do what y'all do in the chat room. Not nothing new. But we will read some of your chat and get some of your thoughts on this conversation we have in here today on the Doug Stewart Show. I'll do birthdays in the next segment, but there's some great games. And you talking about this football playoff rankings. There's some big matchups this weekend that are going to affect this top 4. Somebody mentioned that Notre Dame's going to move up, depending on what happens between Alabama and LSU. I don't know about that. If LSU loses a very close one and they have one loss, I don't know if Notre Dame gets past them. That way Alabama will move up and LSU will move down maybe to 4. Maybe they'll kind of like flip-flop. So I don't know exactly about that. But Clemson has a big matchup this weekend, obviously, taking on Florida State. Okay, but it's at home. And that's one of the things that we talked about early in the year why Clemson was going to make a lot of noise in this college football playoff thing, because their schedule was just like perfect. So they got Florida State in Death Valley. You know, Florida State had the loss against Georgia Tech last week, so they're down a little bit. So Clemson takes on Florida State, and you also got Alabama taking on LSU this weekend as well at Tuscaloosa. So it's going to be a huge game as well. Man, it's going to be crazy this weekend. Going to be absolutely crazy. So I was reading from an article from Pat Forty from Yahoo Sports, and his contention is that these rankings are all screwed up, and a lot of it's got to do with the brand of the program, which I totally get. I totally understand. I mean, your brand is bigger. You usually have a better history. You have better recruiting, which means you have better players. You have better facilities. You have better money or more money to do and be a big-time program. And so I get it. I think brand probably should have something to do with it. But he's kind of upset that Memphis isn't getting a lot of love, and they were ranked where they're ranked. And then he also says the only logical explanation is that Memphis is a historically bad nobody, and that they began the season as a nobody, and thus will remain at least a semi-nobody in comparison to the somebodies from the Power 5 conferences. That's another part about this. What are the Power 5 conferences? So it's the ACC, the SEC, the Big 12, the Big 10, and the Pac-12. Right. That's an inherent problem from the very beginning. You got 4 spots, but you got 5 Power 5 conferences. That's the problem already. Ideally, you would want to make sure one team from each Power conference gets into the playoff thing. So that's why another reason why I think they should go to 8 teams. But not only that, you're already saying, in effect, that one of the national champions or the national champion is going to come from one of these conferences. So we're not talking about that Conference USA thing or whatever it's called now, the athletic something. I'm sorry, I always confused with the name of that conference is that Memphis is in. But they already asked out from the very beginning. They are. And it is what it is. The committee ranked Memphis behind 5 teams with losses. The Tigers are 1 spot behind Utah, which lost to USC, team that is not in the college football playoff top 25. They are 2 spots behind Stanford, which lost to the number 21 team, Northwestern, and beat a UCLA team that is ranked 5 spots behind Ole Miss. Once again, Mr. Pat Forty, once again, all those teams you just discussed just now are in Power 5 conferences. That has to mean something. They don't give you a name like Power something if it doesn't mean something, man. I mean, they just don't. I know. You can be mad all you want, studio audience, but it is what it is. Get your weight up. Get your weight up. Get into one of the Power 5 conferences. Probably not going to happen. A lot of the teams in that conference are like basketball teams, or historically have been basketball teams. They play a lower brand of football in that conference with Memphis than they do in other Power 5 conferences. So I don't have a problem with it at all. Memphis is 8 spots behind Notre Dame, which has a loss on its record. Yeah, they have a loss on its record at Death Valley against the number 1 team in the country. Well, what's so hard about this? Win over a top 25 team, number 22 Temple. It is 9 spots behind Alabama, which lost to the same Ole Miss team Memphis beat. I'm done with this. Hey, bruh, this is the Mr. 40, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Use your eyes. I tell people all the time, stats lie. Stats are a bold-faced lie a lot of times. Use your eyes. If you look at the Clemson Tigers and the LSU Tigers and Ohio State Buckeyes and the Alabama Crimson Tide and Notre Dame and BYU, no, not BYU, Baylor. If you look at Baylor, if you look at all those teams, you know that those teams, if they played each other 100 times, those teams would beat Memphis probably, 95 times. Chances are they got better players. And like I said earlier, they got better players. They got better facilities. They got a bunch of 5 and 4 stars. Memphis got a bunch of 2 and 3 stars. It is what it is. Plus the legacy. I mean, that's part of it. I don't know. Do you agree with Pat Forty? Or do you agree with me? It is what it is. Until they come up with a better system where they're going to take the top 8 teams or the top 24 teams. You're going to start looking like college basketball, during the tournament. Until they do that, right now, this is what it is. This is a better system, in my opinion, than the BCS, where it was just like, in effect, random. A lot of times it didn't make any sense. You're going to actually play these games on the field with the Final Four. So I absolutely like it. I have no problem at all. Once again, I would have had Ohio State at number 1. I probably would have put Alabama or Clemson at number 2, LSU at 3, and Alabama at 4. But outside of that, man, it is what it is. It's going to work itself out. Clearly, Clemson's going to, play a tough team this weekend. I just talked about in Florida State. Alabama got LSU. It usually works itself out. Even with the BCS, it usually worked itself out. I think that it's going to work itself out even better now with these football playoff rankings and the Final Four matching up on the field. So I got no issue with it at all. What are your thoughts? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. College football. Oh, I love college football. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me read some of your chat, man. From a man, Coop, he says Notre Dame will be 4th after LSU or Alabama lose this weekend. I just talked about that. That's the post that I saw where I talked about how if LSU plays a real close game on the road at Alabama, maybe the Final Four I keep saying Final Four, maybe the 4 top teams would be Clemson. If Clemson wins, they'd stay put. LSU would drop down to maybe 4. So 1 would be Clemson, 2 would be Ohio State, 3 would be Alabama if Alabama beats LSU. And if it's a tight game, once again, maybe LSU just drops down to 4. A quality loss. If there is such a thing, that's a quality loss on the road in Tuscaloosa, losing a close one to Alabama. Maybe they don't drop below Notre Dame or somebody like that. Notre Dame at Pittsburgh this weekend, that's not a great opponent. So if they, struggle or play a mediocre game, maybe they stay put. A lot of this stuff is going to play itself out once again. From, who do we got here? From Cornelia Small, Morning Stewies. If Ole Miss isn't as good as we thought they were, so what does that say about Alabama's ranking? Once again, I said it before. You got to go back and look at the details of that game. Alabama had an uncharacteristic game where they turned the ball over like 5 times. That's not going to happen every week. And a lot of those plays, man, were just like the craziest things happening. I remember watching that game. You can't expect Alabama to turn the ball over 5 times in the game. You can't expect that. And if you watch them play over these last couple of weeks, it seems like they've got all gears in motion. Like everything is clicking for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And they're Alabama. They are. All right, when we get back from the break, man, all I'm going to do is read chat. We'll talk some birthdays here on the Doug Stewart Show. We'll talk some birthdays. I'll read some of your chat. And we'll do what we do and continue to talk about the college football rankings. Oh, we got to talk about Georgia, too. A lot of people listening to this show, they aren't in Georgia. They're not Georgia fans, but kind of interesting story. We do have a Georgia/Atlanta feel to the show because your boy is based here in the ATL. So we'll talk a little bit of Georgia football, man. Them cats, they're running amok down there. They are. For all of you Georgia fans, Mark Richt, the disciplinarian that he is, he can't control them boys, man. He can't control them. We'll talk about that up next on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play. So, you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's Stu for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code Stu, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code Stu.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
Let me read more of this chat before I get out of here. Oh, my gosh. Okay, my man K3000. Yeah. If you're new to the show, K3000, he's kind of long-winded. We love him, though. So I guess this is why Tree's playing this music in the background. He says, Dougie, I feel you. People love making fun of people when they get caught doing something semi-wrong. Like receiving extra free shrimp, but they don't realize that a lot of these guys are effing starving and that they're effing restricted from even signing their name for gain. You give me a damn scholarship and I'm supposed to sign over all my damn rights, all my money-making potential, and if I don't comply, then you blackball me so that I can't make it to the next level to actually receive a check. GTFOH, he did a bunch of GTFOHs. CSI, this is the ish. I'm pissed off about too. That's like dude from Ohio State that actually went to court to get the rule changed and then got blackballed and lost at life. GTFOH, a lot of them. I'm totally with you, Dougie. I'm totally with you. Thank you, K3000. I'm with me too. From sporting events, concerts, and plays, Gistix has the best tickets for them all. The owner, a veteran and military spouse, founded the company set on delivering affordable prices for all the top events. Also, they sell 100% authentic signed memorabilia and quality fan merchandise. It's a one-stop shop for fans. Gistix was founded in 2014 by 4 fun people with military and DoD backgrounds that are fans of everything entertainment. They work hard at helping fans like us discover tickets for live entertainment at a great price, providing hard-to-find authentic sports items and merchandise. And they offer Easter eggs that give fans additional opportunities to purchase unique items. Active and non-military members receive an additional discount on event tickets and fan merchandise items as a thank you for your service. Again, Gistix is founded by fans, and they listen to other fans to understand the importance of service, price, and quality across the board for entertainment, memorabilia, and merchandise. Check them out at Gistix.com, spelled Jistix.com. Again, Gistix.com. That's Gistix.com. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Wild Out Wednesday. Shouts out to the Stewies, man. If you're not stewing, what in the hell are you doing? Thank you for joining your boy. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Tree isn't here yet. I think she's coming, though. Maybe she is. Doing some horse training early this morning. They pay her a lot of money to do that type of stuff, so she has to do it. I get it. I totally get it. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Don't forget the Kicking It with Kesey show today at 2 p.m. right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. We got a big-time guest, man. Kesey's talking to Paris Smith, member of EPMD, and he's talking to him about the music business, marketing, old school hip-hop values versus the new, the future of music, and more. The Kicking It with Kesey show today on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.com. That's Stewart Media and Entertainment. That's the actual web address right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. And then at 3 p.m., the Poe Politicking Show. He's talking to Snow the Product, a native of California, resident of Texas. underground phenomenon, taking the scene by storm. So at 3 p.m. today, she really killed it on the Cypher a couple of years ago on the BET Awards. So check out the Kicking It with Kesey show today at 2 p.m. and the Poe Politicking show today at 3 p.m. right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Excuse me. All right, so birthdays today. We do birthdays every day. Celebrating a birthday today is some chick named Jessa Duggar, or Duger. She's a reality star. Okay, I don't know, I don't watch the show, but they got her ranked the number one famous person today, which is very strange. I'll tell you why here in a second. But she's part of that reality family series show thingy where they got like all of the kids. They got like 19 kids. It's called 19 Kids and Counting. She's the fifth oldest child and third daughter of the family. She appeared on a reality show series when it was titled 14 Children and Pregnant Again. So I think the synopsis of the show, if you don't watch it just like me, is this lady had like 12, 13 kids at one time. She had like a freaking litter of kids. And then she had another small litter of kids as well. So it's 19 kids, and it's crazy. Number 2 is Des Bryant. Des Bryant's celebrating a birthday today. He's 27 years old. This is strange, you know. I'll tell you why in a second. So Jessica Duggar, or Duggar, however the hell you say her name, is 23 years old today. They had her listed at number 1. Number 2 is Des Bryant. He turns 27 years old today. He's listed at number 2. And having and celebrating a birthday today, this guy comes in at number 3. Today is Puffy's birthday. And he comes in at number 3 behind some chick named Jessa Duggar? Take that, take that, take that, take that. So, I thought that was kind of interesting. How in the hell does a man that sells his own liquor come in at number 3 behind Jessa Duggar and Des Bryant? I would have never guessed that in a million years, but that's what they got him listed at, and I don't know who are they, how they're ranking these things or take these polls or whatever, but Puff Daddy is pretty famous. He got a lot of haters, but Puff Daddy is pretty damn famous. They said this ninja is close to a billionaire, just like I just said. He's got his own vodka. I mean, you got your own vodka, you making money. So Puff Daddy is 46 years old today. Happy birthday to him. Matthew McConaughey turns 46 years old today. Happy birthday to him. Actor. Ralph Macchio is 54 years old today. Happy birthday to him. Now, is that Karate Kid or is that from Happy Days? He became, I always get him in, yeah, that's Karate Kid. So Ralph Macchio turns 54 years old today. You know you're getting old when the Karate Kid is 54 years old. I remember us talking about this last year during this time when his birthday came up on the Doug Stewart Show. And you are listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Ranked 20th as far as celebrity status is Devin Hester. He turns 33 years old today, Atlanta Falcon. Is Devin Hester playing? I didn't see the game this past weekend. I listened to it. I don't remember them calling his name. Is he still injured? Is he playing for the Falcons yet? Vince Wilfork turns 34 years old today. Happy birthday to him. And one dead guy, if he was alive today, would have been his birthday. But Walter Cronkite. This is Walter Cronkite. He would have had a birthday today. He died back in 2009. Happy birthday to all of them people. Posthumously for Walter Cronkite. Because he's not celebrating his birthday today. Somebody else got a birthday in a couple of days, man. Your boy. Yes, sir. So wait a minute. Let me see this. Yeah. So Puffy was born 2 days before me. Man, a lot of great things happened 9 months before this date, obviously. So yeah, happy birthday to all of them. If you got a birthday, if somebody in your family's got a birthday, man, give me a shout on the chat, or email me, or give me a call and tell me, and we'll shout you out on the Doug Stewart Show right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. All right, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let me read some more of this chat, man. From JB Jennings says, Doug, how is it that Bama is number 4 when they lost to Ole Miss at home but beat Florida? But Florida beat Ole Miss and lost a close game to LSU at LSU, and they are 10th. There has to be some bias there. Probably is. There probably is, and I can see what you're saying. I can see the comparisons that you're kind of making. They're saying that they're following a formula as far as, looking at all of the numbers and the teams and the power conferences and, what the teams have done lately. That's the big thing they keep saying. But it's probably weighing in the mind of the voters that Florida has been down over the last couple of years. And to me, it seems like under Jim McElwain, they've just come out of no place. I didn't expect them to do this well this early this year. So it's kind of like they came from nowhere, even though they beat some good teams. Obviously, they've come from nowhere, and it's kind of like one of those things we didn't expect them to be this good this early. So maybe in the back of their mind, subconsciously, that's probably weighing into it. I'm not saying it's right, but that's probably the thinking behind it and how it's going down like that. I agree with you. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show from Thorny Switch. Ain't nobody coming to see Memphis in my David Ruffin voice. Ain't nobody coming to see Memphis. It's as simple as that. I mean, it is what it is. From Eugene Jackson, good road with Atlanta. Good road win, Atlanta and Miami yesterday. Miami need to play better defense, and Wade should have played more in the second half. But the problem about it, he's talking about the Hawks getting a win over the Miami Heat on yesterday. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. The problem is they're probably playing Dwayne Wade the minutes that he can play. They're trying to save that ninja, man. He's old. He's old and decrepit. You got a couple of cats, man, that are just done. And I'm not saying Wade is done, but he's damn close to it. I mean, he's played a lot of basketball, had a lot of knee issues over the last couple of years. They're probably just monitoring his minutes, man. They can't just stick that man out there to play 48 minutes. From JB Jennings, what's happening, Stewie? Your boy got a new gig, so I've been in training these last couple of days, man. Congratulations, JB Jennings. Can the brother hold something? Can you buy a T-shirt? Let's see. From Sluggo, he says, how are you in the Big 12 and only have a SOS 109? Stop playing cupcakes, Baylor. Oh, strength of schedule of 109. Stop playing cupcakes. Yeah. And then you just look at the style of football. It's not aesthetically pleasing. It's fun to watch, I guess, if you're a fan of Baylor and TCU. But you can't expect Baylor and TCU to play against a team with 5-star recruits like Ohio State or Alabama and put up that type of points. So, I mean, it is what it is. I keep saying it, and I've said that several times a day, and I'm probably going to say it a couple of more times. You can't expect the committee to not use their eyes and their college football intellect. Yeah. You putting up 70 points week in and week out, and you giving up 70 points week in and week out. They're trying to figure and they're trying to view and vision and have a vision of if they take on one of these teams from the SEC, will they be able to do that? And chances are no. Now, last year, in the national championship, Oregon had the great win. Was it over Alabama, I believe? Yeah, but, I would say that type of thing and that type of performance where you put up all those points against a team, one of the top teams in the country, once again, from the SEC, or Ohio State with the top talent every year in and year out, chances are you putting up that type of performance, man, is going to be, very menial. It probably won't happen a lot. Let's just be honest. So it is what it is. All right, we get back from the break, man. Hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. We will talk about what's going on in Georgia. More trouble in Athens. And we'll continue talking about the college football playoff rankings that came out on yesterday. We'll hit some basketball a little bit later. We just have fun around. And Todd Gurley got to get a little love today. And we'll talk about the Doug Stewart Show Fantasy Football League. Yes! Don't go away. Keep it locked. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Your season-long fantasy football lineup is locked in and ready for action, but you don't have to wait until Week 16 to get paid. Put your fantasy skills to the test starting Sunday at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site, where you could kick the season off by winning $2 million. It's the biggest fantasy football contest ever. $10 million in prizes are up for grabs, including $2 million for first place and $1 million for second. 1 week fantasy means no season-long commitments. It's fantasy football on demand. Play where you want, when you want, with the players you want, and turn your love of football into a life-changing payday. Just pick your players, pile up the points, and pick up your cash. That's it. You've never experienced football like this. This isn't fantasy as usual. This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and use promo code Spreaker to play for free for a shot at part of $10 million in Sunday's Millionaire Maker event. Enter Spreaker for free entry now only at DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
To give you the history on this Doug Stewart and Tree Taylor battle in Trivia Crack. We just started playing last week. We played 3 games. I won the first one in handily fashion. And then Tree has come along to beat me 2 times in a row. All right. Now, I blame Trivia Crack for asking me dumbass questions about romance comedies from the 1980s. That's who I blame. But she's won. And I got to give her credit. What? I knew you were going to jump.
Like, when you talk about women, Tree has come along.
You got nothing to do with you being a woman.
I showed up.
Oh, wait. Did you just... What? Oh, my gosh. Did she just call me the N-word? Oh, damn. We made Doug Stewart Show history just now. As many times as I've almost uttered that term, you did it! And we don't have 7-second delay.
I'm fired.
You getting the BPA. You nominated for a Boiled Penis Award.
No!
Yes, you are. The first time in the Doug Stewart Show history, someone utters the N-word.
I'm sick of you.
You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Good thing we, on radio, traditional radio, the FCC be beating down my damn door right now. They're already looking for a reason to try to put me out of business. And you come up with this. Golly, True. You're better than that.
That girl is poison. You never trust a big button to smile.
Stewies, what's up? Tree here to talk about your home security and the security experts at Strickland Security. Everything the team at Strickland Security does is focused around increasing the security of your home, protecting your family, and your business. Most home security companies, especially the larger ones, want to sell you a cookie-cutter alarm system that maximizes their profits but not your security. The team at Strickland Security will install a customized alarm system that meets your budget and your security needs. This Atlanta-based company is here to solve all of your security problems. Whether you need your alarm system repaired, surveillance cameras installed, or your door locks replaced, Strickland Security is the solution. Don't wait. Call the experts at Strickland Security today. For more information, go to their website at stricklandsecurity.com or give them a call now at 800-422-9075. That's 800-422-9075 and tell them Tree sent you.
Hour number 2, baby. Yes, sir. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in to the Doug Stewart Show. Wild Out Wednesday. Talking college football. The college football playoff rankings came out yesterday. A little discussion on that. A couple other little interesting things we'll get to here in a second. This segment is brought to you by my folks from BV Mobile Apps. Are you an entertainer? Do you need an app? It's 2015. You should have an app, man. BV Mobile App specializes in apps for entertainers. Whether you have a podcast, whatever type of show, you're a DJ, holla at my folks at BV, that's Boy Victory Mobile Apps.com. It actually stands for Black Vibes Mobile Apps. DougStewart.com, okay? They are professionals. They've been doing this a very long time. They developed the app for the Doug Stewart Show. Never had an issue with it at all. Great customer service. Doesn't take as long as you think to develop, and it doesn't cost as much as you think to get done as well. So check my folks out at bvmobileapps.com and tell them Doug Stewart sent you. So, if you haven't heard, Georgia Bulldogs freshmen Natrez Patrick and Chauncey Rivers were suspended by Coach Mark Richt for a game after the two players were arrested on misdemeanor possession of marijuana charges early Wednesday morning. Wow. Doesn't it seem like Georgia got a weed problem or whatever? I mean, how many times I turn around and they talking about a player getting nabbed for weed? They like the sticky icky. The players were arrested by UGA police early Wednesday morning, according to booking reports. Patrick entered the Athens-Clarke County Jail at 2:23 a.m., and Rivers was booked 21 minutes later. And so, once again, it seems like, and once again, I really am a fan of Mark Richt. The thing everybody says, you know, when I say something like that, I'm basically setting you up to talk, quote-unquote, negatively about him. It seems like the conversation about Mark Richt always is, when you talk about the fact that they haven't really attained the ultimate goal in winning a national championship or even coming close to winning a national championship, is he's such a great guy. And I'm not denying, I'm not saying he isn't a great guy. I'm sure he's a great guy. I've never met Mark Richt in person, I don't think. I'm sure he is. But not only do they not win big football games historically since he's been there in these last 15 years, but the players, you know, to a large degree, you would think they would respect him and want to do the right things. And I'm sure they do, but somehow a lot of the players of Georgia find their way into trouble, man. And to me, that's kind of like a disrespect to the head coach. Let me look at this little list here I pulled up, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Georgia fans, listen. Linebacker Davin Bellamy was arrested for DUI. Who else we got here? Defensive lineman Jonathan Taylor was charged with felony aggravated assault. Dismissed from the program. You remember him. Trey Matthews, former safety Trey Matthews, defensive lineman James DeLoach, Jonathan Taylor, and former receiver Uri LeMay were all arrested on theft charges. Matthews, Taylor, and DeLoach were charged with double-dipping their stipend checks. LeMay was charged with taking his roommate's deposited stipend check and cashing it. And there's been a lot of that type of stuff around Athens over the last couple of years where they get these checks. Matthews was dismissed and transferred to Auburn. Taylor was dismissed following his second arrest, and Uri LeMay transferred. DeLoach is the only one that was still on the team. Star safety Josh Harvey Clemens, remember him? Dismissed and transferred to Louisville. Shaq Wiggins transferred to Louisville and was arrested in January for driving with a suspended license. This is an article from a while back. All arrests made national headlines. And then you add this on top of it. These two kids, Natrez Patrick and Chauncey Rivers. There's been a lot going on in Athens, man, under Mark Richt. He's a leader of men. I'm not saying that he isn't. All I'm saying is I don't hear about all these types of issues, you know, with this many players at most other big-time programs. And maybe it's just because I'm in Georgia. Maybe it's just because, you know, we're able to follow the Georgia football program a little bit more closely. I'm not sure, but it's been a trend. It's been a trend if you really sit back and think about it. Once again, for the record, I'm putting this out there. Don't go back and twist my words and say Mark Richt is a bad person, a bad coach, or anything like that. No, I'm not saying. My whole thing about Georgia and Mark Richt is you just got to try something different. The definition of insanity is to try something the same way and expect a different outcome. You know, my Little League football coach used to say that all the time. And not only do they not win big games, but seemingly there's an issue with discipline there with the players as well. I would try something different. That's all I'm saying. I ain't trying to come in second, third, fourth, or fifth place. I'm not trying to have a 10-win season. I'm trying to win the whole damn thing. And sometimes it doesn't feel like that in Athens. What are your thoughts? 404-382-0338 is the number to the show from Sluggo. Thorny, trust me, the secondary market will be on fire as soon as the novelty wears off. You'll be able to get at least 50% discount on PSL. I don't know exactly what you're talking about. From Fatboy McCool, Mark Richt is a bad coach. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to go that far and say that Mark Richt is a bad coach. I'm not going to say that. From Clay Davis to Sheed Advisor, I'll watch the Falcons from the greatest stadium of the time, my damn house, with free parking, food, and big-ass seats. I guess they're talking about ticket prices for the new Georgia Dome or the new Falcons stadium. From Fatboy McCoon, he says, Mark Richt sucks, but they keep him around another 5 years. From Thorny Switch, wow, now this is something else, Sluggo. I really want to see the stats to tickets sold under this new PSI. Damn, I wish Tree was here to get some of this other stuff. From Redland Kirk Doug, Andrew Luck has sucked this year, but the coach fired off the coordinator, Hamilton. When all else fails, blame the ninja. Yeah, that was the other big story, I guess semi-big story from yesterday, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, was offensive coordinator, I think his name is Pep Hamilton was fired as coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. I talked about this a lot on social media yesterday when the story first broke on how, this is the clearest. I mean, if you're talking about a clear example of a scapegoat, is Pep Hamilton. And I think I replied to somebody on social media yesterday. So you fired an offensive coordinator after the quarterback throws the ball to the other team over and over and over again like it's going out of style. Like, what does the offensive coordinator have to do with that? I mean, that's bad. I mean, that's real, real bad. So, yeah, the brother did take it on the chin yesterday, man. I feel sorry for him. And I'm sure that other people in high places recognize that they're basically making him out to be the scapegoat. So I'm sure he'll land on his feet. But, I mean, that's just bad. That's bootleg. Real bad. From, who do we got here? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Sluggo. Clay, that's mostly true. It's hard to replicate the energy, though, but strictly from a viewership standpoint, you're correct. Mark Richt should be fired. We got a lot of that type of stuff in the chat, people posting. From Loose Neck Side, props to UJ and Coach Richt for taking care of our injured Southern University football player and family. The whole Southern University thanks you. From Eugene Jackson, Georgia sounds like house party too. Yeah, it seems like they have a good time down there in Athens. It definitely seems like that. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. When we get back from the break, man, let's talk a little bit of NFL. I didn't mention him a lot on Monday, but Todd Gurley, we need to sit back and salute this youngin. Coming off of an ACL, I'm going to talk about him when we get back from the break. We'll hit some other little NFL news and notes as well. We can talk more about the Pep Hamilton story with the Indianapolis Colts. Read your chat and do what we do. All right? Sports talk with hot sauce. Texas Pete hot sauce. This is the Doug Stewart Show. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
Vegas, I believe, is the only state, or Nevada is the only state where they have legalized prostitution in these whorehouses. And they call them brothels. And it's not in the city limits of Vegas in that particular county. It's like the next county over, and I've just heard all of this on the street. I just heard about this. But this is how it actually is. So, like, one county over, if you drive, and I think this story said it's like 70 miles where Lamar Odom was found. This next county over, they have legalized whorehouses. The technical term is brothels. Yes, Tree.
I mean, I'm going to say something that may surprise you. To be honest with you, like, they need to legalize it everywhere because...
Whoa. Wait a minute, Aunt Esther.
No. This is real talk here.
Okay.
The government has no business telling people where they can fling their cat, get their vitamin D. It's not up to the government to decide that. So while I wouldn't choose that as my lifestyle, shout out to Nevada for understanding that that's that woman's body.
Yeah.
And she can do what she wants with it.
In theory, I 100% agree with you. I didn't know we were going to start this social conversation on whores and whorehouses in America, but I agree with you, Tree.
I'm telling you, just stop it, government, and legalize the kitty.
Legalize? Wait a minute. I think we got a new moniker now for the show. Legalize the kitty.
Sports talk. Straight, no chaser.
Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. We're doing some huge things here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the Doug Stewart Show, and the biggest thing being broadcasting other shows. That's right, we're executive producing other shows and playing them on my network. You may have a fantastic show or podcast, but do you have listeners? We got listeners. Over 9,000 followers to the Doug Stewart Show on the Spreaker platform, as well as over 200,000 plus listens to the network itself. So here's what you do. Go to Fiverr.com, that's Fiverr.com, and search the Doug Stewart Show or Stewart Media and Entertainment and get all the details. Or just hit up the producer, Tree at TreeAtTheDougStewartShow.com. That's spelled Trei. Tree at TheDougStewartShow.com, and come and do business with us on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes! Dougie sings the hits. Dougie sings the hits. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, now, this is a ribbon in the sky. This is Stevie Wonder. So I got to do this justice, man. So y'all sit back, relax, and take this in, man. We miss you, Stevie. R.I.P., brother. Oh, he's not dead? My bad. Actually, that makes it a lot better. It's for all the ladies out there that listen to TDSS. Oh, so long for this night I prayed that a star would guide you my way to share with me this special day where a ribbon's in the sky for our love. If allowed, may I touch your hand? That voice talent. And if please, may I once again, so that you too will understand. sir. There's a ribbon in the sky for our love. You're welcome, Stewies. You're welcome. Oh, man. Oh, man. God, you killed it, Ninja. You killed it. Oh, my gosh. I astound myself sometimes. This is not a coincidence, and far more. Yes, sir. Than a lucky chance. Drag that verse, Dougie. Drag that verse. What is that was always meant? Yes, sir. Is a ribbon in the sky for our love. Love we can't lose. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With God on our side, we'll find strength in each tear we cry. Yes, sir. From now on, it will be you and I. Yes, sir. And now ribbon in the sky. Ribbon in the sky. Ribbon yes, sir. In the sky for our love. Oh, thank you. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, man. So if you're new to the show, you've just been introduced to my singing. You're welcome. You are absolutely welcome. You are. You are. That's one of my classics. That's actually from a couple of months ago. And so not only do you get exhilarating, fun sports talk and guy talk and all of that stuff and entertainment and all like that, every once in a while I'll sing for you as well as you just witnessed just now. Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, man, I'm looking at this chat room, man. Chat room is on fire. Look at K3000. Thank you, K3000. K3000 in the chat room, and I'm just quickly glancing at it. We're about to get to some Todd Gurley talk here in a second. I think we need to recognize this youngin. But my man K3000 is kind of the representative of the Stewies and my singing fan club. This man K3000 posted like 35 little pictures, little avatars or emojis of fire. And then he also has like crowns, because the listeners, not just K3000, the listeners, K3000 is just the president of the club. They started calling me and gave me the nickname the R&B King. I know. Thank you. Oh, man. Thank you very much, man. And so that's just indicative of everything else. Doug, your singing is marvelous. Doug, I love you. Doug, can we book you for our next event? Doug, you're great. Doug, you have a masterful voice. Doug, Stevie Wonder ain't got nothing on you. Doug, Luther Vandross right now is somewhere clapping. Doug, you're a great. Thank you. So I won't really get into a lot of the chat. That's just kind of a summation. Keep listening, man. I'll probably record something new for y'all real soon here on the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. I wanted to mention this, man. The St. Louis Rams got a win this past weekend over the San Francisco 49ers, dominated, kind of probably the precipice of why the 49ers decided to bench Colin Kaepernick, because the team is struggling so bad. And this is one of the final straws. Rams beat the 49ers 27-6. They're 4-3 right now. The big story about the Rams, though, is Todd Gurley. Have y'all sat back and looked at what this man is doing? This man has played in 5 games. Now, the first game he came back against the Pittsburgh Steelers, he came in late in the game. He only had 6 carries for 9 yards. Okay? But besides that game, the next game against the Arizona Cardinals, the man had 19 carries, 146. Against Green Bay, 30 carries, 199 yards. Against the Cleveland Browns, 19 carries, 128 yards. Against the San Francisco 49ers this past weekend, 20 carries, 130 yards. This man hadn't put up less than 130 yards a week since he's been the starting running back for the St. Louis Rams. Now, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Technology is a Mickey Ficky. Okay? It is a Mickey Ficky because when I came through in the early 90s, if you tore your ACL, your best chance of being close to what you were was like 2 years out. And now you've seen Todd Gurley and what he's doing. You saw what Adrian Peterson did after coming back from the knee injury a couple of years ago, man. Praise God for modern technology and medicine. His boys are like the $6 million men. We can make them bigger, stronger, much faster. And it's just a miracle, man. It's a miracle that he's playing this well. Now, he's got the talent, but the whole conversation about, at what point will they be back to themselves? Todd Gurley looks like he's better. He was great at Georgia. And I've said it before. I think Todd Gurley is probably the second best running back to come through the University of Georgia that I've ever seen. There's been a lot of great backs. He's second behind Herschel Walker. And it easily translates to the NFL and what he's doing, man. He hadn't skipped a beat. He looks fantastic out there, man. He is balling out of control. Right now, St. Louis, they lost their first couple of games, but they're right in the thick of things. It's early. We're halfway through the season. They're right there in a prime position to get a wild card in the NFC. And it's all because, it ain't because of Nick Foles. I'm going to tell you that right now. It ain't because of Nick Foles. It's because of that great defense. It's because Todd Gurley is a man amongst boys out there. Ball award on a Wednesday to Todd Gurley. Yes. Yes, sir. Here's a quote from Adrian Peterson. If there's anybody that you could compare Todd Gurley to in the NFL, in their running style, physical, big, strong, one-cut type runner that's got speed to run away from defensive backs, is Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson quoted on the NFL Network this past week and said, he's aggressive, he plays physical, and he has great feet and great vision too. And talking to the NFL Network, he says, I love what this young guy's doing. I wish him well, but not this week against us. And you know what happened? Or you know what's going to happen. They play Minnesota this coming week. And Todd Gurley, man, he's just impressed, man. So ball award to him. I felt like I needed to mention that. We didn't get a chance to talk about him on Monday, on a Man Talk Monday where we give out ballers and busters. But ball award today, young man, doing the damn thing. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. When we get back from the break, man, we're going to do it. It's kind of becoming like a segment to the show. We still got to talk about Leonard Fournette and some good things that's going down with him. We'll hit a little bit of basketball as well. I got to talk about the Lakers and what happened last night. Last night was the first complete game that I watched for the Lakers. And as a Laker fan for the last, 40 years, 35, 40 years, I'm going to tell you my thoughts on what's going on with the program, man, with the organization. We'll also talk about the Atlanta Hawks. We'll hit a couple more things before we get out of here today on the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah. Somebody got to say it. Somebody got to step in and say it about what's going on with the Lakers and with Kobe. And I'm just the man to do it. Man, the chat room is afire right now because of my singing. You're welcome. I'm glad Tree wasn't here, or is not here right now to hear that, because she be throwing shade, And then it's sad because she battle sung me a couple of weeks ago, and I absolutely destroyed her. But she still be trying to throw shade. Her and her hating friends. The haters have arrived. Yeah, whatever. All right, don't go away. Keep it locked. This is the Doug Stewart Show, a.k.a. the R&B King Show. Your season-long fantasy football lineup is locked in and ready for action, but you don't have to wait until Week 16 to get paid. Put your fantasy skills to the test starting Sunday at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site, where you could kick the season off by winning $2 million. It's the biggest fantasy football contest ever. $10 million in prizes are up for grabs, including $2 million for first place and $1 million for second. 1 week fantasy means no season-long commitments. It's fantasy football on demand. Play where you want, when you want, with the players you want, and turn your love of football into a life-changing payday. Just pick your players, pile up the points, and pick up your cash. That's it. You've never experienced football like this. This isn't fantasy as usual. This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and use promo code Spreaker to play for free for a shot at part of $10 million in Sunday's Millionaire Maker event. Enter Spreaker for free entry now, only at DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
To give you the history on this Doug Stewart and Tree Taylor battle in Trivia Crack. We just started playing last week. We played 3 games. I won the first one in handily fashion. And then Tree has come along to beat me 2 times in a row. All right, now I blame Trivia Crack for asking me dumbass questions about romance comedies from the 1980s. That's who I blame. But she's won, and I got to give her credit. What? I knew you were going to jump.
Like, when you talk about women, Tree has come along.
It ain't got nothing to do with you being a woman.
I showed up.
Oh, wait, did you just, what? Oh, my gosh. Did she just call me the N-word? Oh, damn. We made Doug Stewart Show history just now. As many times as I've almost uttered that term, you did it! And we don't have 7-second delay.
I'm fired.
You getting the BPA. You nominated for a Boiled Penis Award.
No!
Yes, you are. The first time in the Doug Stewart Show history, someone utters the N-word.
I'm sick of you.
You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Good thing we, on radio, traditional radio, the FCC be beating down my damn door right now. They're already looking for a reason to try to put me out of business. And you come up with this. Golly, Tree, you're better than that.
That girl is poison. You never trust a big button to smile.
We're back. The 2 Live Stews are back on air every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on WGST. It's Sports Talk with Hot Sauce. Special thanks to our sponsor, Bruce Hagen, at Hagen-Law.com for making it happen.
640 WGST in Atlanta. Search 640 WGST on iHeartRadio worldwide.
Yes! In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and #1 independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! Yeah, that's a good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that on my own. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So I'm reading this chat in the chat room, and somebody says, Doug, what you should do one day is every time you come back from the break, you should play one of your classics. As opposed to the, the rap music I play when we come back, like this track right here, That's easy to do. I mean, we have all the files saved and everything. Yeah, I like that. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. After every time we come back from the break, I'll play one of my classics. We'll have a show full of Dougie classics. Yes, sir. Hey, man, I get the people what they want. All right, let's talk a little bit of fantasy football. We got to talk about some NBA here in a second, too, on the Doug Stewart Show. Hey, this segment is brought to you by my folks at Strickland Security. Atlanta is great. But, there are some places in Atlanta where you got to be careful, man. These cats will kick your doors in, break into your house, do all kind of crazy things. My folks at Strickland Security, man, they've been doing a lot of things and getting a lot of calls on stuff outside of just protecting your homes. They've been getting calls on guarding businesses, robbery, shoplifting deterrents, weddings, teen parties, adult parties, special events, all those type of stuff, things as well. And so they can handle it from the smallest job to the biggest job. Alarm systems, from a basic alarm system starting at just $15 a month. They can fix your alarm system, or they can give you the big boy with all the lights and bells and whistles and all of that stuff, man, with cameras and all of that. Holla at my folks at Strickland Security, all right? That's StricklandSecurity.com, StricklandSecurity.com, and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. You won't be sorry. They've got over 55 years in the business. StricklandSecurity.com. That's StricklandSecurity.com. All right, fantasy football talk time. The Doug Stewart Show, fantasy football talk. So let's start from the most important thing. Is your boy won his game again, absolutely destroying Fell Pay. Fell Pay, what the hell is going on with your squad, bruh? Fell Pay is 2-6 right now. I increased my record to 6-2, destroying Fell Pay 91-50. We just get Ben Roethlisberger back just in the nick of time, man. Andre, what's the kid name? Antonio Brown has a pretty decent weekend. Hopkins, the wide receiver for the Houston Texans, has a good weekend. Devontae Freeman is really my MVP of the year. Got that ninja off the scrap heap. And he's winning games for me. Yes, sir. So, Fell Pay, man, I'm looking at your squad, bruh. And what you might need to do, bruh, is just cut everybody. Ryan Tannehill. You got Tate running the football for you or playing wide receiver for you, who's a Golden Tate. Doug Baldwin, he absolutely sucks. Justin Forsett, he didn't have a great weekend. Your team is horrible, bro. No disrespect to you. You're a great person, and I love you, and thank you for supporting the Doug Stewart Show, but your team absolutely sucks. I cut all them ninjas. All right, so I win. I'm 6-2. The high total for the week. Well, let me go over every score and give everybody a little bit of love, give them a little bit of conversation. 9-0 the Rhino beats Green Team 131-76. Impressive win for you, sir. 9-0. The Boosa's Blue Fly, or Buses. I always want to say Boosa. Busa's Blue Fly beats Run CNC 101-71. Below the Belt beats Texas Tie 101-97. That was a close matchup right there. Those are the ones that hurt. When you lose by a couple of points and you look back at your players and you should have started this guy over this guy and you lose by a couple of points, those hurt. Been there, done that. From Dobby the Great beats RC's Purple Gang 109-92. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Rail Scott Squads beat Star-Lord 105-72. Go ahead, Rail Scott. Rail Scott is a good fantasy player. And then you got Stringer beating Tar Heel Blue 95-70. Congratulations to all the winners, including myself. This week's big point total winner goes to my man, a 9-0 the Rhino with 131 points. Congratulations to you, sir. And as I mentioned earlier, this week's big point total loser is Fell Pay. Womp, 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 womp. You remember The Price is Right? You remember your grandmama made you watch The Price is Right? And somebody would lose their showcase. Fell Pay scores 50 points this week. I mean, you got to do something about that, bruh. And the league standings, your fifth ranked team in the Doug Stewart Show League is Tar Heel Blue. Number 4 is Dobby the Great. Number 3 is Texas Tie with a 5-3 record. Number 2 with a 6-2 record is Nino the Rhino. And coming in at number 1 with the most points scored is the Fighting TDSS's. That's me. Yes, sir. Kicking ass and taking no names. Kicking ass and taking no names. That's what we do right here on the Doug Stewart Show and the fantasy football. That's what we do. We don't take no names. We number 1 rank, Shawty. Number 1 rank, Shawty. Yes, sir. When you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, let me mention this quick before we jump to a break. The jersey worn by LSU Tigers running back Leonard Fournette in the team's 45-24 win over South Carolina last month is heading to the auction block Saturday. The jersey will be part of a package that will include helmets signed by Les Miles and former South Carolina coach Steve Spurrier. The opening bid on the athletic department's auction page will be $7,000 and will close at noon Eastern Time on Monday. So after the October 10th game in which Fournette ran for 158 yards and a touchdown, the sophomore said he would auction off his jersey to benefit the victims of the flood that caused the Gamecocks to move their home game to Tiger Stadium. So that's some good stuff right there. Good stuff, man. I cannot wait for this Alabama-LSU game this weekend. I cannot wait. Been really, really running the last couple of weeks. Obviously, last week was homecoming for me. So I'm going to relax this weekend, man. After we do the 2 Live Stews show on Saturday morning, I'm coming home. My baby girl got a Little League football game. But after that's done, man, I'm coming home and I'm going to get in my little lazy boy. Actually, it's a big lazy boy. Pop me some popcorn. I might even drink a beer by myself or whatever, man. Sit in my man cave and watch these college football games, man. I'm just going to chill this weekend. Thank you, studio audience. Your boy been working hard. He been working hard for the TDSS and for Omega. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show, man. Y'all, you don't have to post any more comments about my singing and how much you love it, man. I mean, I'm actually kind of shy, you know, and I'm not a boastful type person. I'm really not. I mean, I might talk a lot of trash on this show, but I'm really not, man. I'm a very humble person, man. But all of these comments about my singing, man, all I can say is just thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. And maybe we should make that a bigger portion of the show. Right now, I'm thinking tomorrow, coming back from each break, we're going to do Dougie Classics all day long. Y'all asked me to do that. Wow. Man, all these Roll Damn Tide people in the chat room. Roll Tide. Crab Cakes and Red Stripe this weekend. I see you, 47 Problem. This is going to be a good weekend, man. A couple of good matchups in the NFL as well. When we get back from the break, let's talk a little NBA. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the Lakers, man. 0-4 right now. And not just 0-4, an ugly 0-4. Kobe Bryant can't hit the backside of a barn. We owe that ninja $25 million this year, I think. It's bad. Don't go away. Keep it locked. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
Let me read more of this chat before I get out of here. Oh, my gosh. Okay, my man K3000. Yeah. If you're new to the show, K3000, he's kind of long-winded. We love him, though. So I guess this is why Tree's playing this music in the background. He says, Dougie, I feel you. People love making fun of people when they get caught doing something semi-wrong, like receiving extra like free shrimp. But they don't realize that a lot of these guys are effing starving and that they're effing restricted from even signing their name for gain. You give me a damn scholarship and I'm supposed to sign over all my damn rights, all my money-making potential. And if I don't comply, then you blackball me so that I can't make it to the next level to actually receive a check. GTFOH, he did a bunch of GTFOHs. CSI, this is the ish. I'm pissed off about too. That's like dude from Ohio State that actually went to court to get the rule changed and then got blackballed and lost at life. GTFOH, a lot of them. I'm totally with you, Dougie. I'm totally with you. Thank you, K3000. I'm with me too. From sporting events, concerts, and plays, Gistix has the best tickets for them all. The owner, a veteran and military spouse, founded the company set on delivering affordable prices for all the top events. Also, they sell 100% authentic signed memorabilia and quality fan merchandise. It's a one-stop shop for fans. Gistix was founded in 2014 by 4 fun people with military and DoD backgrounds that are fans of everything entertainment. They work hard at helping fans like us discover tickets for live entertainment at a great price, providing hard-to-find authentic sports items and merchandise. And they offer Easter eggs that give fans additional opportunities to purchase unique items. Active and non-military members receive an additional discount on event tickets and fan merchandise items as a thank you for your service. Again, Gistix is founded by fans, and they listen to other fans to understand the importance of service, price, and quality across the board for entertainment, memorabilia, and merchandise. Check them out at Gistix.com, spelled Gistix.com. Again, Gistix.com. That's Gistix.com.
Break 'em.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Don't forget today, 2 p.m., the Kicking It with Kesey show. And at 3 p.m., the Poe Politicking show, man. Make sure you tune in today. Talking to some prominent rap figures. My man Parrish Smith from EPMD at 2 p.m. with Kesey. And at 3 p.m., Snow the Product. Look her up. If you don't remember who she is, look her up and you'll be like, oh, I remember that chick from the BET Awards on Cypher. She killed it. So that's at 3 p.m. today, right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. All right. We're doing some big things on Fiverr.com, man. If you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show or the Two Live Stews, email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. We also got some cool gigs on Fiverr.com starting at just $5. We do voiceovers. We do 60-second ads. We're also doing this huge thing where we're doing promotional interviews / infomercials on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, as well as broadcasting other shows like the Kicking It with Kesey show and the Poe Politicking show. So if you want details on anything and you want to do some business with the Doug Stewart Show or the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Let's do some business. Yes, sir. So last night, the first complete game that I watched, and it was very late into the night. It's hell being a Laker fan, a West Coast fan, a fan of a team on the West Coast. Get it out. I've been a Laker fan my whole life. It's just very, very tough. The games go late into the night. They didn't start this game until 10:30, but I stuck around and, was just chilling and watched it. I was dozing in and out of sleep in the second half, but I watched the whole thing. What I take away from this game, this is the first game that I watched completely from the beginning to the end. The season started last week. Been really pushing, pressing, doing a lot of things, as I continue to say on the show, and you are listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So I watched this complete game last night. My takeaway from it is, the most obvious takeaway is this, is that Kobe Bryant is a shell of himself. And I do mean a shell. Very early in the game, if you saw the game, and you'll probably remember this. Very early in the game, like in the first 10 minutes, no lie, in consecutive possessions up and down the floor, Kobe shot a brick. I think it was a three. He shot a brick that hit the backboard so damn hard, I thought he was going to knock it down. They go back down the court, and they come back down, and Kobe shoots an air ball. This is no lie. I'm not lying. It looked like Kobe Bryant from that first year. You remember when he first got into the league, and he felt like he was Michael Jordan, but he didn't have his legs under him, and, he was just young, dumb, and full of you-know-what? It kind of reminded me of that first year he played for the Lakers where he was just out of control. And he looked bad, man. Last night, finishing the night with a horrible shooting night, 4 for 11, has 11 points. It's just bad. If you watch the game, the stats don't even do it justice. It just looks bad. On the other hand, oh my gosh, I think we got the right guy in Julius Randle. Beastin'. Julius Randle, 32 minutes last night, 16 points, a very efficient 7 for 14 from the field, shooting 50%, 5 boards, 2 assists, a steal, a block. This kid can play, all right? And he had the injury last year. He only played like a couple of minutes in the first game, so he's coming back from injury. I feel very good about Julius Randle. Another guy I feel very good about. And I said this last night. I'm jumping around here a little bit. I said this last night on what was it, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, one of them. Go ahead and buy Kobe out of his deal, which I know is pretty much virtually impossible, because we owe him like $25 million. I mean, he's one of the biggest stars we ever had. They're not going to do that, but I'm just saying, if in a perfect world, if we could, man, buy Kobe out of his deal and just get that two-guard position to Jordan Clarkson, man. Put some faith in that young man that he's the guy going forward at that two-guard, that shooting guard position. 30 points last night, 12 for 19 from the field. He's got a game. He's got a great game. Defensively, he might not ever be Kobe Bryant, and he may never be Kobe Bryant in general. But he's all we got. Let Jordan Clarkson run that two-guard, man. Put Julius Randle out there. We should have drafted Okafor, but we didn't. D'Angelo Russell right now is struggling. It's shameful. Jahlil Okafor is balling out of control in Philadelphia, based on what I've seen. And D'Angelo Russell, man, looks very timid out there. It's early. He looks very timid out there. To me, he could not stay in front of the Moutier kid last night. The Moutier kid was taking him to the basket whenever he wanted to. It's going to be a long, long year if you're a Laker fan. 0-4 to start the season. The Moutier kid was killing him. Was killing Russell. He couldn't stay in front of him. Could not stay in front of him, man. So it's going to be a tough year if you're a Laker fan, and I know there are a lot of us out there, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And also last night, man, kudos to the Atlanta Hawks. They go on the road, win their 4th game in a row by beating the Miami Heat. Jeff Teague, 26-6-9. Great game by him. I watched a lot of the first half of this game in particular. The Hassan Whiteside kid, man, is just, you talk about a diamond in the rough. Great night. 11 for 12 from the field. This ninja went like 90% from the field. 23 points. And he also had a block. He gets more blocks than that. He had 4 turnovers, but a great night for that young man. They really, you remember, the story about this kid. He was on the street. He had been cut from a couple of teams, and Miami basically took a fly on him, and the rest is history. Bosh only 9 points last night, 4 for 14 from the field. He hadn't totally got his legs under him yet as well. And it's going to be a minute, and it should be a minute. You had blood clots, and you literally almost died. And that blood clot thing ain't no joke. Trust me, from somebody that knows. So it's going to take a minute for him to get back to the Chris Bosh of old, if he ever does get back to the Chris Bosh of old. Dwayne Wade, 27 minutes. Somebody mentioned it earlier. 21 points, but definitely has lost a step or two. And so the Hawks get a good win last night. They've won 4 in a row. We were all panicky after the first game. I remember we talked about it on 2 Live Stews, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, about that first loss that they had in their first game of the year. But the Hawks have just reeled off 4 games in a row. Can they take it a step further? Taking it a step further means for the Atlanta Hawks going to the NBA Finals, So we'll see. We'll see. But Coach Bud doing a great job of coaching. The team looks like they're starting to hit their stride. Good stuff for the Atlanta Hawks. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I've done that a couple of times in the last couple of days. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Done that a couple of times the last couple of days. Let's get this right here, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Wait a minute, Pink Gator. Yeah. Okay. I did it again. You must be freaking slow or something like that. What's the matter with you? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. All right, wait, we need Pink Gator, dummy. Pink Gator. Here we go. Yes, sir. There we go. Oh, man. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Doug Stewart Show. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shouts out to all of the Stewies. I know we're ending the show a minute or two early today. Got to go see a man about a horse. I got to go see Tree about a couple of her damn horses. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me today on the Doug Stewart Show. If you're a new listener to the Doug Stewart Show, this is what you can expect. A different perspective on sports and entertainment. Top 5s, birthdays, me singing every once in a while. I know. I mean, you get a lot for your buck around here, baby. Fun, and shenanigans right here on the Doug Stewart Show and the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Don't forget, 2 p.m. today, the Kicking It with Kesey Show. And at 3 p.m., the Poe Politicus Show right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Tune in, man. Give it a shot. Give it a listen if you haven't before. Follow the network. Follow the show. Follow the network. Follow the show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network and get alerted whenever a show goes live, all right? Shouts out to the Tree of Life, even though she isn't here today. Thank you, Tree, for all that you do. Waterhead Walter, Dwayne Bassan, Gerald Oliveri, thank y'all for doing what you do. And once again, thank you to the Stewies. We'll do it again tomorrow, same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Peace.